Well, good morning. Thank you, Suit Lady, for helping. 38 minutes of permadeath. The only episode that's 38 minutes long is the first one. Welcome to Tetrip. Oh, look, the knowledge stone. Let's go get it. I've only been here for a couple of minutes. Oh, I hear bouncies. The the Atlas is right next door in the next system over. Today, we're going to do the Atlas. We're going to do as much of the Atlas as we can do. Oh, there's a gigantic bouncy. Y'all know bouncies are my favorites. Another favorite thing of mine is how awesome of a speaker I am when I'm not wearing a headset. We're just gonna sneak through the bushes. Well, there's no sneaking. I guess we'll just have to land on the poor guy. If I can find him now. There he is. Money in the bank. 31,000 for that common little critter. Well, he's not rare, but he might be uncommon. Alright. I don't have a rad shield. We got lots of shields. I don't have any rad shields. Why did I come here? Oh yeah, I came here to do a sound test. Tetrip in the summertime. Such a lovely place to visit. Up? Any matter. Well. Alright, is it this guy? I think it's this guy. Yeah. Alright, watch this guy. The first time he stared back at me. He just stared at me, totally deadpan. What do we got in the suit? Oh, I made a bunch of money, and I spent a lot, but I made a lot of nanites. We've got chromatics, we've got gold, we've got emerald, cadmium, and indium, and magnetized ferrite. I got all of these suit slots done with 3 of those. I always forget something. Huh. You can hear the chickens in the background. There's no way to stop them. Somebody has laid an egg. Actually, I had 2 hens in the same box together for the last hour, and I guess that that journey of togetherness has come to an end. Here we go. Let's go see an Atlas. There it is. Alrighty. I don't think I even have the Atlas path highlighted in my log. Main quest lines have to be highlighted. Missions don't. Which I think is why you can do multiple missions at the same time. I think so. All comes down to the log. Here we go. Atlas interface discovered. Let's not forget the warp cells this time. Still bugs me. If you don't watch the other series, then you don't know this. I missed the first 2 free warp cells. And if you don't know anything about the game, the Atlas gives you free warp cells. 6 of them. 2 in each of the first 3 stations. Alrighty. But more important than anything, the Atlas gives you words. Alright, it's GEC system. So we're learning GEC again right away. That's good. I've done a couple of manufacturing facilities just as I came across them. Same thing with glyphs. I have a couple of glyphs. 3 or 4, I don't know how many. I've done a lot of wandering around on planets. I've gotten into 1 or 2 arguments with the Sentinels. You may not know this, but on Permadeath, they, you know, the Sentinels all start out needing enemas. I think I did get the last movement module, so let's go, buddy. You should be able to do this as good as my main save can. There's not that many words in the first station, so this is where I want to melee jump, right here. Not through the tunnel, obviously I'd hit my head. Boop! Here we go. Warp cells. Alright, here we go. The other thing about the Atlas, I'm not going to share the lore, I want you to do it for yourself. The other thing about the Atlas is you have to have a number of your milestones done before you can do it, except milestone Pathfinder or above. It's not a huge demand. Called it maximum. I'm going to pop that in there. Captured nanode. Ooh. Atlas number 1 in the bag. Is this a good time to look at the clock for the first time? Shall I guesstimate again? And maybe we've been doing this for 5 or 6 minutes. Last time I guessed it was 10 minutes, and when I watched back the video, it actually had been 6 minutes and 20 seconds. I got some pretty cool pictures, both from Permadeath and from my normal saves. I'm going to be posting a couple of them in the Discord. I don't want to flood the Discord. I've already got a lot of pictures on Swords Discord and on Noob Nation. I don't really share much on the Geknip gang. I should, though. Several of the pictures I've taken are really silly and funny, and Geknip gang is another really, really awesome Discord, and I mean they cover so many games. They obviously started out with No Man's Sky, and thus Geknip. And I'll tell you what, they have got some serious stuff set up. I don't think I need anything from you. Nope. What about the gun? Oh yeah, I'm not adding more nanites to this one because I want to make sure that I have enough nanites to build the alien multi-tool that the one we'll go get. They don't react good to either answer. I'll click my tongue. No, I don't have time. I'm not Doctor Who. I'm a traveler. I got my own stuff to do. I will peek at work. I like to spy. And I touch things no matter what the sign says. Ah, lovely. He seems more offended than I am. Finally a word. Good grief. Where'd you go? There you are. You were camouflaged. It's that green face of yours. Let's get a job and get out of here. Scan minerals. None of those, because we're doing something more important right now. Up, down. Let's see, how many Discords am I in now? It started with Geknip Gang. That was the first Discord I was ever in. And then the next one was Noob Nation Nexus. And then Cobra. And Sword just started his own Discord, which is awesome. So I remember that one too. And Zane. God, how could I forget Zane? I'm also a member of Zane's Discord. I don't always self-promote on all those Discords, usually just on Swords. I'm thinking about promoting on Reddit, but I've heard some funky things happening to Reddit people. I said before in a prior video, it's springtime now in Southern Oregon, which means it's hot. It's very hot outside. And the garden is calling me, but my body is saying, no. I have to have help with that. Someone has to be out there with me, you know, to make sure that I don't fall over. And that sucks, man. It sucks to be 51 years old and have to have somebody watching out for you all the time. It's funny, my sister and I shared a bedroom when we were kids, and now we share a home, and we are inheriting equally. But I didn't put my name on anything, you know. At the time, it didn't seem like I was going to last much longer. So, to avoid a whole lot of extra paperwork, I didn't put my name on anything. That sounds so dark, which is why I'm laughing. All right, but we share a home. So anyway, as children, we had to share a bedroom, and we used to kick each other in the shins. And now I'm dependent on her to make sure I'm safe. I don't know if you could trust someone that used to kick you in the shins. Seem wise. Alrighty. I wasn't even paying attention to what language we were learning right there. Oh, co-pilot. Sorry. It's so funny with my dog. Okay, my deaf dog, who knows dog sign language. Okay, that's kind of specific, but there are specific commands that you teach deaf dogs. that are hand signals that you wouldn't normally teach them if you were just training them for obedience. Like there's a lot of hand signals for obedience, but there's a lot of extra ones for deafness. Sorry. And the problem is, oh come on, RP, for goodness sake. The problem is my kite won't go where I want it to. It's time to buy a cheap heavy fighter. I'm gonna buy a B-class heavy fighter just because they're a heavy fighter. Anyway, the problem is I've raised him with hearing dogs, and so if he doesn't see my mouth moving, he doesn't follow the hand sign. It's like, oh, she's just waving her hands around. Oh, her mouth is moving. I better do what I'm told. So, oh, I don't have any more night on me, so we don't have to get words here. So I have to mute the mic. I can't just give him a hand signal. I have to say words. Which has led to things like screaming at him. Go lay down! And that was always a big point of, you know, joking at work. Was me screaming at my deaf dog. Talking on the phone with one of the employees or my boss. And I'm yelling at Sam, go lay down! And they're like, didn't you say he was deaf? Yeah. Oh. You know, when we did this in normal mode, they were all like multiple jumps apart. And, hey, whoa! They were all double jumps, except for like one, I think the very last one. The problem is we got so far away from the first Atlas station before we started the Atlas. Fingers, movement. Yes, that I am trying to avoid hitting the asteroids. They do damage. Looks like I hit one anyway. Thanks for the tritium. Woohoo! Well, I tell you what, yesterday was awful. I tried all day long to get this done, this Atlas mission on Perma, and man, I was just about to hit the record button, and my mom came out the back door screaming at me, "I have an appointment." I have to take Mom to her stuff, which is fine. It's her car, and we won't let her drive it. So, to be fair, gotta take her to her stuff. I just wish that she didn't think that at, you know, whatever. I don't even know how old she is. She was born during World War II. Getting her nails done every 2 weeks. My grandmother, her mom, her big thing was getting her hair done. And at the time I was managing Burger King, and I was gone. You know, I was gone 12 to 15 hours a day. And so my sister took her to all of her appointments. My mom was working at the hospital 9 hours a day, and but my mom is just like my grandma. You tell them, hey, you know what? I want to help you with this. I want to do this, but I'm not available on Thursday. So all of their appointments are on Thursdays. I have had to call doctors, hairdressers, dentists, foot doctors. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to bring her. I've had to change so many appointments. If you'd like to hear all the Atlas language read out loud, you'll want to watch Gaming Mike. He did a Permadeath series. He did 2 of them. They both end hilariously. You don't want to miss that. Oops, I made Annie matter. What am I trying to make? Well, we can always use a little extra antimatter. Yeah, so if you want to hear the language out loud, check out Gaming Mike, Permadeath Run. I think he did it for both of them. The first one, though, is always best. It's always best first time. And he reads the whole thing. I can barely speak English. One of the 3 languages I know fluently. And I can't get the words past the language center of my brain. I'm fine when I'm singing. I'm fine when I'm just talking to someone in the room. But when I've got both hands doing something and, you know, 2/3 of my brain concentrating on the game, not so great. I haven't said this probably on my video. I've said it on Sword Stream. Thank you all so much for subscribing and commenting on my videos. And I'm just having a great time doing this. And I'm going to do this with or without you. But it's so much more fun with an audience. So I really appreciate it.
Orbital station coordinates received.
Yeah, where? Let's go. It always looks like the direct path is much shorter than the path they want you to take. But if you follow it, it actually is much more of a straight line than it appears to be. Can you imagine it if this game was programmed by hand? Every single one of these star systems would be a room. And, you know, we know the warping and, you know, warping, teleporting, black holes, and portals, the stargates, that's all loading screens. But every star system is a room that has to be programmed. And can you imagine if that was programmed by hand rather than by, you know, a mathematical program? Procedural generation isn't new, and it's still, thankfully, being utilized in other games, but never, ever as well and amazing as it is in No Man's Sky. There's another milestone. One more to go. It's just, God. I played Dungeon Siege for years. Dungeon Siege, every tree is placed. Every interaction is set in stone. The weapons all already have all their stats. Um, it's an old-fashioned. Well, it's also an old game. Maybe even older than some of you. But I played it for years, and there's that, and then there's uh, God, Call of Duty. That's another game. Call of Duty is huge, and it's programmed. Every fence, every tree, every rock, every tank, everything. Massive, massive game. Can you imagine if Call of Duty was procedurally generated? My God, what an amazing thing that would be. I know I'm going the wrong way, but oh, I guess I did get them all. Okay, hey. Up. Up. Ship's in the way. No more free warp cells. This is going a lot better than it did in normal mode. Here's the easiest one. Oh man, if the room in here wasn't so huge, it would go a lot faster, but that's okay. It's a cool room. I haven't even taken the time to get down on the floor and take a look at HAL 2000. He's down there. Creepy, creepy computers. Oi! Zoom, zoom, zoom. And this update that's coming up. I don't think it's gonna be what I want it to be, but it's gonna be what a lot of people want, and I suppose that's more important. What I'm looking for is some little bit of optimization, some little tweaks here and there. Those are the things I'm looking for. The big things on my wish list, space update. I'd like to see derelict freighters. I'd like to see ships explode and fall to pieces. I'm not looking. Oh, what am I doing? I'm not looking for so much for realism as just more what you would see like in sci-fi programming. Hi Gex, I'll be back to talk to you later. I'd like to be able to board derelict freighters, although I imagine there'd be a huge risk doing that. It's risky to board freighters that aren't derelict. You know how scared I get. It's an interesting looking planet. What do we have in front of us here? Oh, it is exactly what I thought it was. That's cool. It's a leshy without water.
Orbital station coordinates received.
Thank you, suit lady. Look how many moving parts this one has. Up. There we go. See, we got a lot of time left here. We're moving right along. But like I said, the run through in normal mode wasn't very smooth partially because of the dog. Yeah. And I think it was if I remember. Oh, I don't remember why it was so rough. The dog was part of it, though. I remember that. I had to stop recording and go deal with the dog. Oh, poor old guy. He's a disaster. I'm laughing because he's actually my first male dog, and 15 years old, and he's when he was younger, when he would be sleeping, if you touch him, he'd growl just a little bit, and then you touch him again, he'd growl a little bit more. And then you keep it up, and he'd growl and growl, and pretty soon he'd be growling, but his tail would be wagging, because he'd get it, you know. He'd be like, "Oh, you're messing with me, man." After a while, he'd just start barking at you and wagging his tail and rolling over. Any time of day. Didn't matter when he'd fallen asleep. I always did it in the middle of the night, though, because I'd get home from work and the dogs would all be asleep on my bed. And I'd just mess with him. My other dogs could hear me come. You know, they could hear me come home, and they'd get up, and they were obedience trained for the show ring, and so they were always polite about it. But, you know, they'd get up and walk around and jump on me and do all those stupid, crazy things, you know. But he would just lay there sleeping. So I'd curl up next to him and I'd start bugging him. I was always afraid to wake him up suddenly because he's deaf and I didn't want to startle him or scare him. But, but I always got a kick out of that. Taking him from that semi-angry stage to laughing and having fun. Dawn's End. You can see how, you know, I talk a little bit about this in normal mode, and I talked about it a tiny bit here. Get prepared. Bring all this stuff. It makes the trip so much nicer. And, you know, and it gives you more time. You can sit there and read all the lore and meet all the aliens in the space stations. And you're not sitting here trying to figure out, you know, what you need. So if you don't know, what you need is chromatic metal, gold, magnetized ferrite, cadmium, indium, and emerald, and copper. I don't have any copper. I have no copper. I wonder if they sell it here. Oh, I'm not a pirate hunter yet. Wonder how many kills I have. A few. 39. No, that's sentinels. Starships. 69. Yep, no copper. I think we need copper. There we go. Yep. There's a starship. Oh, it just left. Here's another one. It's too little. Yeah, that's where I need to go. Talk to the boss. I did a little bit of work on the base. What have I done? I built the roamer, and I loaded it up with stuff, no copper, to make circuit boards with. I do know how to make circuit boards, so I finished the scientist mission. Sorry. We're actually pretty far along. I mean, we have a really nice freighter, and okay, there we go. Come on, there we go. We have a fairly large base developing. I've gone on salvage tech runs several times. I got a little bit of survival in. You got the tail end of that in either the last episode or the one before that, I don't remember. When I got all those storm crystals. I really do prefer doing storm crystals on the frozen planets. It's just an emotional thing. I don't like hot. You know, I'm not a big fan of summertime. I'm a winter baby. I was born in November. And it's just a mental image, you know, kind of thing. I got a lot done. I've been waiting, making Polo and Nada hang out. I think I have whatever it is Polo wants done. I can't remember now. But, I didn't want to call him in case it was... We're pretty close to the last interaction on both normal and permadeath with Polo and Nada. And I have to watch the last episode of both series in order to know where I'm at. Boy, my brain's getting jam-packed with words. What language is this? Corvex. Okay. I have to stop and read the thing. So, yeah, I have to sit there and watch at least the last few minutes to know where I'm at. It's a handy tool, actually, having that, you know. I missed one over there. Yourself. the concept of self in the Korvax language seems an odd match to me. You know, with the exception of our scientist and Nada, you don't really run into any other Korvax who have broken with the convergence. And so it's pretty rare to have that self-identity, you know, in them. Thodic Jade. Good grief. That's the one with copper. Oh, I do have copper. I'm better prepared than I thought. Which is good. It's always better to have what you don't realize than to not have what you realize you don't. Huh? Space station. Where's the space station? Here it is. Boy, we are cruising right along here. Wrong button. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I ran into the space station because I was playing with my inventory. I love the sound it makes. Dink! Alrighty. Not very far to go, I'll tell you what. I've got some people to meet, some things to do. I don't know why my brain gets stuck on to. To do. To be. Not to be. Too many T's. When we come back tomorrow, we're going to finish the Atlas. 2 episodes and done. And I'm going to start looking around for a cheap, heavy fighter. A little bit more money, and we can afford an A if I come across an S class. I'm going to try and make some money right then there. A medium S class isn't very expensive. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, this is a poor system, and it's perilous out there. Alright, we will come back tomorrow, finish up the Atlas, do a few other things, grab some mission cargo slots, maybe kill some sentinels, and generally create some mayhem, because that's where we're at. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.